Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check. Okay. All righty. As Matthew McConaughey would say, it is 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. It is Wednesday. It is October 2nd. And welcome to a little porch light magic here. Yes. I was going to do a game streaming one, but I can't. I don't like that thing. I mean, I gotta learn some more tricks on it. There are people who can put up upcoming events and things like that on OBS, and I need to learn how to do that. And once I do that, that's cool. We're gonna share it. Go ahead and hit the like button, people, and share the video. Share that we live. So good morning. 8:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 in the Mountain Time Zone, 5:30 a.m. in the morning on the West Coast. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about how my truck sucks. We're gonna talk about got some Xbox Scarlet news and PS-5 news. Talk a little about Jim Ryan, the CEO of Sony, the president. I guess people didn't know this guy got named president in February. And talk about the PSNOW thing. What's going on there, William? You still at work? Oh, well, I had to miss work yesterday because of my vehicle. Something's going on with my vehicle. I don't know what's going on with my vehicle. So it's got a new alternator in it. I put a new battery in it yesterday. And I'm gonna go to a mechanic today and make sure that everything's charging correctly. So it's 4:30 over there. Okay. Shout out to you over there off the coast of Africa. How does one end up over there? How did you end up over there? It's Japanese. It's a Honda. So I don't know what's going on with it. So the mechanic told me that my old alternator had blown a fuse, and that wasn't allowing the new one to charge the battery. So I don't know if that fuse went out again. I'm just going to have him check it today. Yeah, my truck is a Honda CRV. Yeah, so it's Japanese. So you're an African? All right, well, no. I know that you're African, but how did you end up on that little island? So where in Africa are you from? Oh, what's up, Ghoul86? Certainly check out Ian. He's streaming Fortnite. He wants to be the new ninja. What's up, Raphael? How are you doing? How is everybody doing? That like button, people. Yeah, we got a few people watching. So shout out to everybody that's here. Yeah, my truck sucks. So, I mean, like right now, I don't know if the battery that I put on yesterday is even charging correctly. Mark Camacho, how are you, young man? Long time no hear. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. So I'm gonna go after this podcast. I got 2 stops to make, and one of them is gonna be at Advanced Auto, and it's gonna be, hey, look, you're gonna I need to make sure that my battery and my alternator are working correctly because they're brand new. So, God of Games 100, how you doing? You got a job at an IT firm? What IT firm are you with? Do they need some help? So, do they need some help over there? Yeah, I know you've been busy, Mark. I know you're still working out, though. I know that. So, but shout out to Mark Camacho. Mark Camacho was one of the first people that donated to me. He donated a game, Metro, and then he donated the Platinum, I think, headsets for Sony, 7.1. First, I appreciate it. Him, J-Dub City, everybody that's donated. Jemiah Dixon, reason why I got this beautiful Ryzen 3600 here. So shout out to everybody. So you're from Nigeria? Okay. All right. All right. You know what? I am going to go to Nigeria next year, God willing. I'm gonna go visit Nigeria. So what is going on? So what IT firm? To ask them, do they need some help? You know, I can do a podcast from there. If you're not allowed to say their names, that's fine. I understand that. I understand that. So, but beautiful over there where you are. The people seem beautiful. Certainly hope the food is good, and the women look beautiful. So I'm sure you're over there loving it. So no, Jemiah, I mean, I'm not, the console war is over. I mean, I am not fighting the console war. So we're going to talk about some things. So we're talking about how my truck sucks right now. So I do not know if it is even charging correctly. So I have to friggin' go get that looked at, which is free. That is free. But, you know, there's other things wrong with it. I've got a bad vehicle, like VSS sensor on it. So my speed odometer is always stuck at 0. All this stuff just happened. So all this stuff literally just happened. You know, started with the thermostat going bad. Then I changed the thermostat. Then I changed the, you know, so I changed my thermostat. Now all this other crap's going on with it. So it's a 98, but I don't have a car payment. I only pay like $64 in insurance. I don't want a car payment. So this so far is cheaper, but my God, the stuff that I wanted to get, my new GPU, it's in that truck now. The friggin' alternator was $180, and then friggin' the battery was 95. So that's my new GPU. So, but shout out to E1 Matador who got me that code vein. God willing, I'll be able to get that on Friday or Saturday. That's my plan. What's up, Lincoln Clay? I played Mass Effect on the Xbox One X yesterday for about 8.5 hours. That's what I was doing yesterday. So after that, because I gotta go, you know, so I was so mad at the truck, I just needed to get away. Yeah, well, Advance will too. And my battery is from Advance, and so is my alternator. So I'm gonna go as I go to get some things from I'm getting my student loan thing situated so I can go back to school. So I want to do some IT stuff, but I'm like dumb. I have no idea. Then I'm the tech guy. You know, here I am, the tech guy. I have no idea what. I just want to do some basic IT work, something part-time that I can get enough money to get this friggin' GPU. But yeah, so I'm gonna make sure it's working because that guy told me, the mechanic that helped me put the alternator on, because my alternator was at the bottom, so I had to take it to a shop. It wasn't on the top. So Hondas, if you have a Honda, your alternator is on the friggin' bottom of your truck, of your engine. But but there's a fuse, and he said that the fuse had blown and that it was not allowing the battery to charge. So I need to make sure that that fuse is working. I'm just gonna take it back to that shop, and I'm gonna say, look, can you just look at it? I just want to make sure it's working good. What's going on, Ice Queen? How are things in jolly old England? And how are you doing? So, you know, AD Gaming, how you doing? Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about it. That's the end of my truck sucks. I mean, because I just needed a day. I had to call in yesterday because my truck, I was going down the road and the entire dashboard got real dim, and then all of a sudden the truck just stopped. And then we got the new battery put on there, and the truck started fine. I drove it up to AutoZone to test it, like Mark was saying. And I don't know if that girl tested everything or she just tested the battery. I'm not for sure which one she did. So I'm just going to go back to Advance Auto today. It's on my way to my HR department to get some paperwork because I got to get my student loan thing situated and get into this program, make my payments on time for the next 8 months. I can get back into IT. So hopefully next fall, I'll be back in school. So that was my first gaming question. Can we download MLB The Show and The Last of Us right now, or is it coming later this month? I didn't know. So, but Dawn just confirmed we can get The Last of Us. So trying to finish school. Yeah, I've got 2 degrees. I want to go back and try to get a 3rd one. That way I'm the man. So it's out. All right, yeah, I may do that. I mean, I'm already, once I come back. So I'm already mad as hell. So, but I can download it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna download it then. I mean, I've already beaten it. I beat that before. Which one was it? I guess I beat it whenever it came out. The remaster came out, and it was only like $29.99 or $39.99. I bought it because I kept hearing, because I had a 360, and all you kept hearing about, especially the last 3 years of the generation of the 360, was The Last of Us. And I called a friend of mine, he had it, and he said it was one of the best games he's ever played. I just thought it was a little hyperbolic, But then I played that game, I'm like, damn, this is good. This was real good. So I may play it. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, but I'm going to probably end up playing it again. So Destiny 2, you're level 750. See, my person on Destiny is level 8, and he's a beast. So, but I stopped playing Destiny 2 for some reason. So it's, so Mark's going for his 2nd degree. Yeah, now you talking. I have a degree in surgical technology, and I have a degree in medical billing and coding. So also I have a certificate. I have my CNA certificate. So I've got all that stuff. I got like 3 or 4 things. So I'm what they would be. I would be what they would call on Black YouTube an educated lame. That's what they would call me. You quit Destiny after the Taken King DLC a couple of years back. Was that Destiny 1 or 2? That was Destiny 1, right? I can't remember. But anyway. So let's go ahead and talk about let's talk about Jim Ryan. So Jim Ryan is the president of Sony. I think I got a picture of him here. And Sean Layton has left. Sean Layton has left the building. I found this old article in June. Jim Ryan's one of the people that see, it's funny that people will claim that one thing Jim Ryan is doing and not the other thing that Jim Ryan is doing. So, but this is what he looks like, and he was named the CEO of PlayStation in February. This is an old article. I thought everybody had known this. But he's also one of the ones that said the PS-5 will be able to support 8K. See, that's a lie. That's a lie. That, according to them, to the community, that's a lie. Okay, Jim Ryan's also the gentleman who wants to. Jim Ryan also wants you to be able. He wants to buy more studios. He wants to buy more studios. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Sean Layton. If it wasn't for Sean Layton, you don't get Horizon Zero Dawn. You don't get Spider-Man. You don't get the new God of War, because the demo, I believe Corey Barlog built. He built like a 1-hour demo or a 45-minute demo. The way God of War is, he took it. Sean Layton had to approve it. So shout out to Sean Layton. Now, what does this mean? I don't like the way he unceremoniously left this to be. That's never good. All right. And I work at a company, and there's, when your big wigs start leaving like that, but it's not doom and gloom. If Kaz Arai left, it was doom and gloom. Trenton left, it was doom and gloom. The 2 guys that introduced the PS4 at E3 in 2013? Or whenever they introduced the PS4, I think it was E3 2014, neither one of those guys is there anymore. I can't remember what their names are, so I think one was Jack Trenton, but I keep up the guys that I keep saying when they do PS5 launch, they ought to bring those guys back. They ought to bring those guys back, because the way you present an item, the way those 2 did it was perfect. But Jim Ryan, what he wants to try to do is boister PSNOW. The major complaint, I'll move on to PSNOW. The major complaint of PSNOW has been the price and the games. The games are not good. So let's see here. Let me just type that on in there. We're going to save that. Go to show. And PSNOW's price was $19.99. Hold on real quick. Somebody the door is closed. All right. I know what that was. Sound like somebody's coming through the wall over here. All right. So it was $19.99, and the game quality, and again, the game quality was trash. Okay. The game quality on it was not good. Again, I tried to use it back in, gee whiz, 2014 maybe, and I did not like it. I had to literally unplug my PC, plug in the cable line to the PlayStation, tell the PlayStation to forget about Wi-Fi, go to the Ethernet. Then I could use PSNOW. That was 5 years ago. Okay, that was a long time ago. And I was playing XCOM. That was like the only game on there I wanted to play. You know, but so what he did for the next 90 days is he put Grand Theft Auto 5. He took care of the game quality. He put Grand Theft Auto 5. He put God of War 4. And he put Infamous Second Son and Uncharted 4. Now, those games are anywhere from 18 to 60 months old. Okay, that's the truth. And they're only going to be on there for 90 days. So shout out to Jay Barry for pointing this out yesterday. I don't want to make sure I'm breaking news here. So for the next 90 days, you can play those games. Okay. Just like for the next 30 days, you can play The Last of Us Part 1 and MLB The Show. You can I guess you can download it and have it forever. And how old is The Last of Us Remastered? It came out in 2014, right? So that game, it took it half a decade to get there. Children have been conceived, been born, are walking and talking, know how to spell and write by the time you got to this day. The newest game on there is the baseball game. That game came out, 5 months ago? I think MLB The Show came out, in March or April? So April, May, June, July, August, September. So if it came out in April, it's 7 months old. And we're going to Sean Layton left due to health-related issues. Well, again, I got nothing but love for Sean Layton. Again, we don't get Spider-Man. We don't get these other things. And again, Sean Layton and Jack, and is it Trenton and Andrew House, that was his name. Those three dudes were instrumental in getting Sony to where it is. Instrumental, especially in the Western Hemisphere. Now all of them are gone. The Sony did fine. When Andrew House left, Sony did fine. Okay? When Trenton left, Sony did fine. So And he changed the price. Okay, the price is $9.99 for the next 90 days. Okay, so it's $30. It's $9.99 for the next 90 days. So what I keep telling people is people have emailed me and direct messaged me and stuff like that, asking should they go ahead and buy it. Well, again, I'll never tell another man what to do with his money. I will a little bit when I ask for a donation, but I would wait to see where they're at 90 days from now, which is November, October. We're at October now, so October to November. What is it? So January 1st, let's see what they do. Because January 1st, you're exactly 6 weeks away from The Last of Us Part 2. You're 8 weeks away from Final Fantasy 7. You're 7 to 8 weeks away from Cyberpunk. So let's see what Sony does at that point. But as far as doing games day and date, they're not even doing them they ain't even doing them for 6 months. So why would what are they going to do? Put new games on there for 90 days and then pull them off? Are you all out of your damn minds? What would Captain Kirk say? Are you out of your Vulcan mind? That makes no sense. and shout out to Porter Rock because I just saw the tweet he made before I came on, and he's like, "Look, the people are trying to tell you that they know the direction Sony is going. They didn't even know PlayStation Now already had PS2 and PS4 and PS3 games on there. Like they didn't know." So I don't. So when I see people and then, look, I listen to these Xbox podcasts. I told you all that. And when my little exchange with Salty's Gamer yesterday was simple. It was, he's like, well, you're trying to move the goalposts. And I'm like, you're the one who is making a comparison that makes no sense. It makes no sense. So it's just, and he is the one who has had multiple podcasts that I've listened to where people that he's had on there that have been guests and have literally said they hate the fact that Game Pass has games on there day and date. They hate it. Okay, they can't stand it. Yes, instead of them complaining about it, instead of them saying, look, I don't like this business practice, I'm not going to participate in it, they sit down and they just sulk like a bunch of nine-year-old kids that have wet their pants. That's who they are. Okay, that's who they are. And So I don't have a problem with PS Now because I'm not going to use it because these games aren't even native. Like if you download God of War, if you download it, let's just say you download it right now, you got to play that damn thing. I mean, I don't know about I think the PC version is 720p, 30 frames a second. Now, it's still on PC, okay? But for the next 90 days, but 720p, 30 frames a second. The PC people that have downloaded have already started complaining about it. They're already complaining about it. So, but it's just, and this, they're not going to allow native downloading. That's why I don't want it. I mean, if I want to play God of War, I'll go spend 18, 20 bucks to go play it again. I've already beaten it. So now did I platinum it and beat something called a Valkyrie? No, I didn't beat something called a Valkyrie. So streaming is not on PC. Then how do they play the game on PC? How do I play God of War 4 on PC, Jemiah? So is it native? Is God of War and Uncharted 4 and Infamous Second Son, are they natively able to be downloaded on PC? That's my question. So let me go back to my banner here. So I mean, I'm asking a question. I do not know because this does not affect me because I'm not going to use it. So because those games on PC that PlayStation has made available, they're trash. I mean, one of the good things about having a PC is controlling the resolution and the frame rate, and you can't download any games on PC, even though you have PlayStation Now. Even though you have PlayStation Now, you can't download them on PC. So you have to stream them, right? So the streaming is 720p, 30 FPS. Is that still correct? So, I mean, I'm just asking. You can still play the game, but you're going to play the worst version of that game. Saying worst meaning resolution-wise. Frame rate-wise, you'll probably, it'll probably be roughly the same. So, oh, you cannot download the games on PC. Can you stream them, though? That's my question. Can you stream them? Even with PS Now, you can't. Again, can you stream them? That's my question. So, why is it limited? Okay, No Russian. The reason it's limited is just to see if Jim Ryan can get people interested in PS Now. If it's $10 and you have access to 800 games, that may be all you need. That may be all he needs. He may say, you know what? We don't have to put PS4. And to me, I've said before, Infamous Second Son and like games that are 4 and 5 years old, they should be on PS Now. I've said that. You know, Infamous Second Son came out in 2014. That should be on PS Now. I'm trying any game that came out. Until Dawn, that game with Supermassive Games, Until Dawn. See if you can get that game on PS Now. You know. So you've seen Joker tomorrow. I've already seen it last month. Stream on PC is terrible. I mean, again, that's fine. I'm not saying not to stream it. It's still terrible. You know, I mean, but the reason it's limited is just to see if they can entice people. And from what I saw online yesterday on Twitter, when I wasn't mad at my truck, what I saw was simple. What I saw was a group of people who don't understand it's a limited deal. They're only going to do it for 90 days, and then they're going to check their numbers at the beginning of the year to see if their numbers of people went up. And maybe Jim Ryan says, you know what? I'm going to keep it at $10, or I'm going to combine it with PS Plus. And if you get PS Plus, it had their own version of Ultimate. You know, whatever they want to call it, PlayStation Now Ultimate. You know. So it's whatever. I'm just trying to come up, you know, whatever they want to call it, they can call it. And that way, you know, you can just, because people are paying for Plus, and they're paying for, if they pay for PS Now, that is, as of right now, that would be $20 a month. So if they say you can get both for $12.99 or $13.99, in essence, or $14.99 for both. So you're paying $6.99 or $7.99 for both. They would say that's a deal. And guess what? A lot of people will buy it. A lot of people will buy it because that'll give them the PS4 games, and they can that would give them the PS4 games that are going to be this. You know, they're giving them the PS5, which is going to be backwards compatible. And then it'll give you access to PS2 and PS3 games. Again, that's what very good chance that's what's happening with this right now. Yeah, 901. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I see. I thought when they did Game Pass, when they did what they did with PS Now, I thought they were going to put the games on PC natively for the next 90 days. But a lot of people didn't know, and shout out to Jay Bari, a lot of people didn't know it was only for 90 days. It's like 90 days, same as cash. You know, you go to an outlet store, oh, come get this bid. 90 days, same as cash. 90 days, same as cash. You know, what's up, Blue Ismo? How you doing? So, long time no here. A lot of people, JP Loco, all the way from Australia. Yeah, Concrete Genie, yeah. Yeah, I want to see you all streaming the hell out of that game. So you can stream them, yes, but you can only control the input, which means it's not on. Which means to me, it's not on PC because the game is being run. Yeah, I know. But guess what, Jamal? You can still play it, right? And that what the community is saying. You know, they're taking a 90-day experiment and they're trying to use it as, oh, well, this is the direction that they're going. And again, shout out to Porter Rock, because like he said, these are the same cats who thought that they thought Sea of Thieves was going to be, you know, being played for umpteen months. They thought friggin' what's the name of that Crackdown 3 was going to be the game of the generation. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. You think it would make sense to put their games in PS Now 12 months after launch? Nope. Again, they got a big enough ecosystem where they can just keep on selling the games. Horizon Zero Dawn came out in 2017 and it sold what, like 8.5 to 9 million copies? Sold 8.5 million to 9 million. Okay. Now, I mean, I think that they need to bolster the PS Now library, and that's what they're trying to do. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. So, I mean, I hope it works out for them. But I'm not going to get it because I had a horrible time using it. And that was 5 years ago. So let me just make that clear. And again, what would I play on there? Like if they had SOCOM 1 and 2 on there, I would probably get it for that. But I don't think they have that. And people were telling me, it's got SOCOM on there. No, it does not. It does not have SOCOM on it. I checked. So he will be rejoining Sony soon. He left because of a disagreement. Well, I mean, Charles Daniels, do you have any proof of that? Do you have any proof of that? I mean, we don't know if that's the reason he left. That's just the rumor. Okay, let's make sure you put rumor beside that. So, you think this is a holiday move to help the console during the season? Well, that's not a bad way to look at it either. That's not being talked about enough. Yeah, I mean, how do you move consoles? How do you get people to buy into an ecosystem when they already know that there's another version of the console coming out in 2020? Roughly 20, maybe 2020, 2021, whatever. Whenever they announce it, it'll be here when it gets here. Well, I mean, Lou Waffle's not saying anything. I've got something from Gizmodo about the PS-5 and the Scarlet, and Crack Gamer covered this during his podcast the other day. So, it's on Gizmodo. So I'll talk about it a little bit. But I think people got to realize that is that they got to figure out a way, because the Switch is going to sell this Christmas, like Snow Bunny said. And again, you've got 2 games coming out. I mean, they can say, look, we got Death Stranding coming out. Yeah, Kojima's first project. He's done solo, away from Konami. We've got The Last of Us Part 2, which has next generation tech on it. I was going to do a upload on that later on, a podcast on the next gen. You know how all those people went full retard and talked about Gears 5 having next gen tech on it. I'm going to do one, and shout out to Muscle Bound Gamer, because he talked about some of the next gen techniques that are going to be that Naughty Dog is using. And if you watch it, I don't know if you all saw NX Gamer. He talked about how there's ray tracing. I believe that's what he said in the last of it. I may have misunderstood him. So, yes, this is Mass Effect 4. Yeah. I would love a Mass Effect 4. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. But yeah, if you're on the PlayStation, you can say, look, we've got the Star Wars Jedi game coming out. We've got Kojima's game. But I mean, I agree. We got to get people to invest in it. And then Lou has nothing to do with Sony. And he hasn't said why he left. He haven't said why he left. Night with the Batman logo. Shout out. Mass Effect 4 is called Andromeda. No, it's not. That's one of the wonderful things that Deanna Tate said about it. Deanna Tate said this isn't Mass Effect 4. This is Mass Effect Andromeda. And yes, I agree that people wanted Mass Effect 4 because they didn't like Andromeda. I didn't care for Andromeda. There are things about Andromeda I did like. But as far as the story was trash. Trash. The gameplay, I enjoyed the gameplay. But the mechanics, the creature design, all the creatures were the same. I don't know if you all noticed that. They just changed their color because they said that the people doing the programming did not know how to do it. They said it. They're on record. Hit that like button, people, and share this. They said it. They specifically said it. So, and shout out to Yang Ye, because he did like an hour video on it. And so did Richard Review Tech. He did like a 10 to 15 minute video on it. And what more can be said about that game? That's one of the most, that to me, this generation is the most disappointing game this generation. For me, personally. Okay? So, he did say something about ray tracing. What's up, the almighty Spartan God? So he said something about it, but I'm not for sure exactly what he said. It was saying something about the light, but I don't know if you all noticed in that trailer that when Ellie the way he was talking about the physics and how her backpack was moving. And so he was saying, and again, he was just speculating that more stuff you put into that backpack, the harder it's going to be to move Ellie around because it's going to become more cumbersome. And again, we'll just have to wait and see if they've got that level of physics in the engine. But he was talking about how you can actually turn off your HUD that tells you how many arrows you got and all that kind of stuff, because you will be able to physically see her, see the arrows. You can count the arrows. It's not going to be like on, say like, it was similar to Oblivion, where if you use an arrow, a guy with an arrow, you could see when it was getting low, but you couldn't really count. And you could see when it was empty, but you couldn't really count it. So, so gameplay is good. Everything else is trash. What are you talking about? You talking about The Last of Us? Well, I mean, the gameplay does look good, but they were talking about, and X Gamer talked about the particle effects and things like that. Like the snow effects look a lot like same thing they did in Red Dead 2. It was that level. And again, this is a Sony first party studios delivering you something on the level that we saw on Red Dead 2 from a major multi-plat AAA studio. So, oh, Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, the writing. What I didn't like was the writing. They still could have. Let me just put it like this: them going to another galaxy made no sense. Even though if you do all the stuff, you find out about the Reaper invasion and why they left, or why the mission took place in the first place. But there is nothing said in Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3 about another mission going somewhere else. And they never mention it. And according to the Codex, only about 1.5% of the galaxy is mapped. So why not, after the Reaper War, say, okay, because the mass relays are being repaired, we're going to have to activate other mass relays, because there's other mass relays that they don't activate during the series. And they were going to have to send pathfinders through to be the, to make sure, to do it. But it should have started with James Vega, because he was the N7 trainee. At the end of Mass Effect 3, he is an N7 trainee. So that should have been the avatar that you used. I mean, they could have just said, and if they wanted to change it, you can make it a female, fine, fair enough. But they should have said, since if you don't romance Ashley, you just say he's not going to have a romance partner yet. And then if you want to include somebody like Arya T'Loak, because she was crazy, she was played by the same girl who played Trinity, Catherine, whatever her name is, Carol something. I can see her face. I can't. That's Carol something Moss. She could have been in it. You could have put another Turian in there, and maybe instead, maybe take a Volus this time. Could have done that. There were just other ways they could have went with it, and it was disappointing. Like I said, for me personally, and it's just my opinion, Mass Effect Andromeda will go down as the most disappointing game I've played this generation. Okay. With that said, I've got all the Mass Effects now for my Xbox. Why don't I have them on I've got it on PC as well, but my PC is not playing Mass Effect well at all. It doesn't play sugar-free. The DLCs, it all of a sudden stopped playing them well. I don't know why. So, well, Charles Daniels, it's okay to say that Sean's coming back, but based on what? Based on what? So, I mean, again, what are you basing that on? Just say, hey, look, that's just you speculating, which is fine. But I really try to stay away from speculation unless you hear me say, but there are podcasts like Matt's Gaming who speculates for a living. I mean, he gets, he got 10,000 subs based on speculation. So, I'd rather have, like I said, 50 subs that that understand the truth versus 10,000 who don't know. But that's my opinion. So, Yeah, like I said, they don't mention it. Now, if they had said during one of the DLCs, like the Leviathan of this DLC, because you were working with Alliance Intelligence, and you had found something that said, because you went to the moon, in Mass Effect 1. And if they had put something above the moon, like those rings that those ships launch from, if they had put that up there, and the ships weren't there, fine. I mean, that would have been fine too. I mean, but they didn't do that. It's just like they were running away from the ending of Mass Effect 3. They ran away from it, and they should have stood by it, but they didn't do it. So, and they paid for it. Demon Souls remake. I did hear about a Demon Souls remake possibly. Project Awakening, Ghost of Tsushima. I know Ghost of Tsushima was coming out for the PS4. Huh, all right. SOCOM, GT7, most likely PS4. I agree with GT7. That I'm pretty sure will be a PS5 game. Don't know about the rest of them. I don't know if Insomniac is going to make Ratchet and Clank, or if they're going to make Resistance, because there's a lot of people that think they're going to make a Resistance game. So have to wait and see. So SOCOM is dead. Yeah, and that again is one of the first games I really got into. I love that SOCOM. I like that Ubisoft game, Rainbow Six Vegas. I love Vegas Part 1. Vegas Part 2 is a little bit hokey. Rainbow Six Vegas Part 1 I thought was phenomenal. I thought that was a phenomenal game. So Sony does have the next man up mentality. Yeah, they do. And again, the people screaming doom and gloom. I mean, like I said, they're a bunch of 9-year-olds with wet pants. So that's just the way. There's a reason why that Xbox doll that came out had a headset on, because that's who they are. They sit down in their little chairs, they play their little multiplayer games, or get one-man army, call in the D2. That's who they are. So Andromeda does not exist in your mind. Well, the best way to play Andromeda is after Mass Effect 1. After Mass Effect 1, play Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, at least technology-wise, it will make more sense. Okay? At least after Mass Effect 1, it will try to make sense, because the technology makes sense. And then you have to also understand that because the Milky Way races crossed deep dark space, they are more advanced than the races that they ran into in Andromeda. But they never fleshed that out. What I just told you needed to be fleshed out. So them having us having an artificial intelligence, being able to figure out their languages, all that should have been fleshed out. But that was because the humans, the Asari, all that stuff were pretty much, were pretty much, superior in every way to these other races. And again, a group that can cross dark space and runs into a group of people who are just now being able to settle onto other worlds, which is what the group was doing in Andromeda, means they're still a class 1.5 civilization, and we're a class 3, which they should have said in the frigging game. They didn't do it. So, but anyway, it's over. That's done. I'm not going to talk about it no more. It is what it is. Disappointing to me, but if you all like it, I love it. Okay. Insomniac might make a Venom game. That would be cool for PS5. Yeah, I guess it's possible now that and did you also notice that the same people who are swearing up and down that they know the direction Sony is now going, also told you that Sony was going to blow the Spider-Man thing, and the next Spider-Man game would be a multi-plat. Do you notice that? It's the same people. It's the same people. I'm really trying to get you all to understand that there is so much. Like OBJ the Don, man, shout out to OBJ the Don a year and a half ago before Spider-Man came out. He said it the best. And I laughed at it, but he is 100% correct. He just said, man, the people in the Xbox community, he said, them niggas is mad as hell. And they are. They're furious with the Xbox. Look, again, I've listened to their podcast. I've heard people like Crap Gamers say the fact that they're putting games day and date on Game Pass devalues the console. They hate that shit. They hate it. Okay, so they think, well, Sony's going to do the same thing. You know, so because that makes them feel better. Even Worrywart said it yesterday on Twitter. I don't shout out to Worrywart. He said something to the effect of, you know, day and date may only be a Microsoft thing. It is very possible, but see, they can't collate that in their heads because they don't like the fact Microsoft is doing it. You see what I'm saying? Do you guys understand that? That's right. Well, that's the gulf in between the galaxies. But okay, I got what you're saying. You're being silly. And we can't laugh at each other, and we can't laugh at all, right? I got you, brother. That's a good one. I like it. So you would like to see a new Ratchet and Clank game with all the fixes. Yeah, the beautiful thing is that, and shout out to Sean Layton, he was instrumental in getting Insomniac to come on board. Because of the way Insomniac Games was treated during the development of Spider-Man, and Sean Layton oversaw that, because of the way he treated Insomniac, because of how everything was going so well and the good working relationship they developed, Insomniac was open to being purchased by Sony. So again, so Sean Layton, I mean, like I said, I don't like to see anybody go unceremoniously, leave on your own terms, but he was instrumental in that. So so shout out to Supersonic. Oh, what's up there, bro? What is going on there, right? Jim Ryan is a savage. Sean was the progressive type, and Jim Ryan and Yoshida are very old school. Yeah, now that's my understanding of it too, Supersonic Wolf. I mean, again, is that Sean Layton, one of the reasons why there's crossplay is because of Sean Layton. Jim Ryan may not want crossplay. And this is why I said to you guys, whatever the CEO wants, the CEO is going to get. That's why when Satya Nadella of Microsoft, he's their CEO. When he says he wants games on all platforms, that's all that counts. He's in charge. Yes, Phil Spencer can come out and say, oh, not going to do that. Matt Booty can come out and say, oh, well, we're not going to do that. I mean, again, that's fine that they say it, but when your boss wants it, they're going to do it. That's why people are like, well, why are you so sure that why are you so sure that they're going to be doing that? Because that's what the CEO said. Now, as soon as Satya Nadella comes out and says, you know what, yeah, I don't think we're going to be putting games on all platforms. As soon as he says that, then guess what? My opinion will change. But until he does, I'm sticking by what he says. So it is what it is. So you dropped some facts on Salty Gamer now on Twitter last night. Well, I mean, again, he himself and people on his podcast have said they don't like day and date stuff. So he has said it. Matt's Gaming has said it. They all have said it. So they hate it. So how they're collating, all right, McDonald's, you can go to McDonald's and get a fish sandwich. Okay, but you can't go there. You can't go there and get no crab leg. Or you can compare that to Red Lobster. You can go there and get crab legs and shrimp and all that stuff. That's what they're doing. They're taking a 90-day trial and they're saying this is their new direction from now on. It's amazing what they're doing. It's amazing what they're doing. So, I talked about that last week, Gaminator. Yeah, and again, it's because they're going to have an AI. They better solve all the puzzles. I better say, PlayStation, solve this puzzle, and it better do it. So I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. So, I didn't see Gaminator use any bad language, Streamlab. So, Sean Layton said the Ratchet and Clank is vital. Yeah, I mean, again, I do believe one reason because who made the Ratchet and Clank movie? Sony. See, a lot of people forget that Sony and Insomniac already had a working relationship. You go back, I believe, and you look at who. Well, let's see. Let me double check myself here. Just Google Clank movie. Let's see here. Let's see here. Maybe they didn't. It was apparent, or his IDT did it. Okay, I stand corrected. Let's see here. Let me type this in. Well, Wikipedia. There we go. Let me use my film thing here. That will just get me right to it. Okay. I'm going to put this on the screen. Mr. Share my screen here. And we're just using this. Let's go down to right there, production companies. You see Rainmaker Entertainment, PlayStation Originals. Okay. So they were one of the production companies. So they already had worked with Insomniac. And a lot of people got to remember that. So they already had a working relationship with Insomniac Games, and they had a good experience there. Then they did the Spider-Man thing. Perfect. They were wonderful with it. So why is Sony doing a 90-day trial period? It's stupid. Just keep the games in their PS-NOW library. Well, again, he's Jim Ryan. The number one complaint. There were two complaints with PS-NOW. The top two complaints were the price and the quality of games. That's it. That's it. And so now Jim Ryan comes in and he immediately says, okay, we're going to put better quality games that we have in there. Granted, all of them very old. Okay, are there any games in PS-NOW for the PS4 that's come out for PS4 this year? Is Days Gone in there? That came out this year. How come Days Gone's not in there? You see what I'm saying? Now they have MLB The Show. That is in there. That game is 6 or 7 months old. And then you have God of War, which is almost 2 years, which is 18 months old. I'm sorry, 18 months old, and or 17 months old, something like that. Then you have what? Uncharted 4, which came out in 2015, I think 2015. So that's just reality. There's nothing to damage control. But as far as why they're doing it, he's trying to drive up the consumer interest to see if more people will get it if the price is better. That's it. That's why he's doing it. And he put better quality games in there. So let's wait and see if a bunch of people go out and buy it. I mean, that's all I can say. That Sean Layton was kumbaya type. Sony had him the boot. We don't need another field. I want people. Oh yeah, well, to me they've won. I think Sean Layton, if he was dismissed because of that, I think Sean Layton just looks at things and says they've already won. I got no problem with him. Look, again, as far as the cross-play stuff, I think the stuff that's free to play, Supersonic, I think the stuff that's free to play, it's like H1Z1. Why is that not cross-play with PC? It's running at 60 frames a second on PlayStation. So games like that, games like the remote control car game, whatever that's called, the soccer cars, stuff like that that's free. This free to play stuff should be cross play. I agree 100%. But I've said that for months. Okay, the stuff that shouldn't be to me is the Call of Duty one. That's Sean Layton. And again, people got to understand the reason why we got crossplay with Xbox on these games is because of Sean Layton. So you know, this new guy has said he doesn't see a, he pretty much said, let me see if I can pull up that quote. This is so you all can see it yourselves and maybe, you know, let's see here. Because Ray is right. He is savage. So let's see here. I had that up here. Jim Ryan's the one who had to come out and say that there's not going to be any major cooperation between the consoles. I don't know if you all remember that quote that came out from him. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. I just saw it. Damn it. I think this is it right here. Let's see here. I'm going to a Rezestrous thread. So let's see if this pulls up. Well, it's acting like it's not going to pull up. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see here. Okay, I'm just going to highlight it here. And I'm going to share my screen because this is a direct quote from him. This is the new, this is the CEO. And let's see here. Okay. He clearly says, you can just follow along. He says, this is to my knowledge. There is to my knowledge, again, this is the CEO for crying out loud, no scenario where the PlayStation and Xbox platforms combine, he said. The two platforms will remain separate with their own separate identities and brands and fans. That's a direct quote from this guy, from Jim Ryan, okay? That's a direct quote from Jim Ryan. So the stuff that's crossplay right now is going to probably stay crossplay, but the stuff that's coming out later on may not be, which suits me fine because I'm not going to be, when I get Call of Duty next couple weeks, I guess it comes out, when I get it, I am not going to be playing online. Like I said, I don't want to play with your dusty ass. I'll buy it, I'll play the campaign, and I'm done. You know, I'm done. So the crossplay beta has ended. When? When did it? When? Oh, okay. So it's open to the developers who want it. Okay, did not know that. So see, that's news. That's news to me. For me, I did not know their beta ended. So bam, like that, it ended. When? So, so Sean Layton, the one talking about, wasn't Sean Layton the one talking about cloud and a consoleless future, like just like Phil? Well, again, yeah, he was, but we'll have to wait and see. Look, the next console's coming out. It's called a PS-5. That's a console, right? So I wouldn't worry about it. Now, any great company, the billion-dollar companies are billion-dollar companies because they think 10 years from now. Now, 10 years from now, I mean, again, I won't be gaming. I may be gaming a little bit, but it will be, I won't be really talking gaming 10 years from now. It's a hobby. I'll be a lot older. I'll be doing other stuff. I'm pretty sure I'll be in my, what is called my third life, you know, with my feet up, drinking an iced tea and, you know, making sure my niece doesn't get into any stupid, crazy stuff. So is Jim Ryan against cloud gaming? No, I don't think he is. I think he, look, their whole thing they're doing right now is, look, Stadia is coming. I don't know if I know you guys have mocked it, you've made fun of it, but Stadia is coming. It can do gaming at 60 frames a second via stream. And what Sony is saying is, look, we have this now. You can download this stuff right now. We're doing it at $10 a month right now. So they're trying to get people to leave and not do Stadia. But Stadia, it's awful hard when you're looking at Assassin's Creed, and I like Assassin's Creed at 4K 60 frames a second. My PC doesn't even do that. So my PC, not yet. Now, when I get my new stuff put in, it will be able to do it. So, yeah, Jim Ryan is pro cloud gaming. Yeah. Yeah, that's why he's doing this now. He's trying to get more people into it. So, You don't mind crossplay with PC, but well, to me, the Rocket League, and that's what it's called, and H1Z1, stuff like that, that should be crossplay with PC. If it's free to play, let it be free to play for everybody to play. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, the stuff like the Call of Duties and all of that, that's stupid. But Microsoft really wanted crossplay because Microsoft had analytical data, there's my word, analytical data that was saying, and Phil Spencer has said in multiple interviews that, you know, they know that people would have bought an Xbox, but because three of Johnny's friends had PlayStations, Johnny wanted to play with them, and Johnny went home and tugged on his mommy's pant and said, I want a PlayStation 4 because Jerry's got one and Billy's got one, and we all want to play Fortnite. You know, that's the truth. That is the truth. Okay. So Microsoft at an executive level started going online and bitching and moaning for cross because it was about their livelihood. So now they look at it like Sony has the marketing deal with Call of Duty, but now Microsoft doesn't care because they have crossplay. You see what I'm saying? And since they have crossplay, that negates Sony's deal with what is it, Infinity Ward or whoever, Sledgehammer, whoever makes the game, Treyarch, whoever, you know, it negates their deal. Okay, they're saying, well, they have that, but you have crossplay now. You see what I'm saying? And again, we'll have to wait and see if this new CEO, and he's been CEO since February, so it's hard saying new CEO because he's been around. And again, Jim Ryan, again, is the same one. I want that one so bad, but again, my truck sucks, and my truck has pretty much gobbled up all my money for that GPU. So I talked about that earlier. So it's very frustrating because that GPU would have been mine. I would have had it in my hands probably on the 18th of this month. But a brand new battery and a brand new alternator, that cost me the same, pretty much the same as the GPU. So very frustrating. So I'm starting from zero again for the GPU. So it's very frustrating. And like I said, when I'm done with this podcast, I have to go make sure that everything's working correctly on the truck as far as that is concerned. So, Sam Ashley, he's never going full digital. Yeah, I will always own. I'm not going to go digital either. Now the games that are free, of course, are digital if I want them. You know, if I have a choice, either play The Last of Us or MLB The Show. I probably will play MLB The Show. The 35 Mbps for 4K 60. Yeah, I've got that. I mean, so I'm fine with that. You know, I mean, I hope they do a Stadia where they can upgrade it, where you can use a landline. I mean, if they really want to put the wood on everybody, let us use a landline because, like, Sick Humor is right. It's all going to be Wi-Fi. So, you know, so it's different. So, Ray, I'm about to get out of here, man. I would have done it though. Tell you what, if you're not busy Friday, well, God, I got all that running around to do Friday. I would have, man, but yeah, I'm about to get on up out of here in about another 15 minutes because I got to run around and make sure my truck is okay. But yeah, brother, I definitely would have done it. I got that old truck from Sam. It's just a pain in the ass. Like I said, now it needs, like I said, it needs a new variable vehicle speed sensor. That's the next thing. This is if this other thing is working correctly. That's the next thing I got to start saving for. But that's $100. So and that's what I'll be getting on the 18th. So yeah. But as far as the next GPU I'm going to get, yeah, that'll be the next GPU I get because that's got the Navi, and I'm not worried about ray tracing. I'll have a PS-5 if I want games for ray tracing. So yeah, but yeah, would have had you. Yeah, me too, Ray. Me too. because it's a pain in the ass. You know, I've got to ride to work. I mean, I drove it yesterday, but I need to make sure that it's charging correctly. Because like that mechanic told me that there was a fuse that the old alternator had blown, and that fuse was causing the battery not to charge. This is when he fixed it. So I'm going to go to the Advanced Auto right here, right around the corner, and say, look, I need to make sure that the alternator I bought from you guys and the battery I bought from you guys are working simultaneously, because low key, I'm afraid to drive the truck because I don't want to break down on the side of the road again. So, so yeah. You don't think Google will give up just like that? No, they're not. Phil Harrison, they have said in multiple interviews that they are here to stay. And the fact that you can do 4K 60, and again, I'm not here to say it's going to be perfect and all that kind of stuff. It's going to have its issues, of course, but the fact you can do 4K native at 60 frames a second, no other console is doing that. As soon as that gets loaded up, you don't think J-Dub is going to stream that and say, ha, 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 so much for the Xbox? I mean, you don't think that's coming? You know, so. So Matarazi said it costs nothing for Google to stream Stadia. They already have the tech. They needed new investment. They shut down Hangout for a reason. Well, I mean, again, Hangouts, we knew Hangouts, and shout out to the Black Brain Trust. Those brothers said in March of this year that they were going to shut down Hangouts. We didn't take them seriously. You know, we didn't take them seriously. At least I didn't. And then next thing you know, I'm doing a podcast and that thing pops up in July. So, hey, starting whenever it shut down. So I got lucky, and shout out to BitCloud. I was able to get OBS running, and I got no problem with OBS. What I don't like is when I do an OBS stream, I have to go into YouTube and go to this screen editor and edit what exactly I'm doing. And it's a pain in the ass, you know, because then when you set up the stream, it'll put out the wrong thing. So, but BitCloud, he gonna walk me through it here one day. So Google will give up. This is one area they will. It defeat Microsoft. Well, I think Microsoft's already beaten. So yeah, JP Local. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here. Like I said, I got to run up here and get this tested and run to my HR department and get something sent to the Department of Education. So and I have to make sure that's working. So, but yeah, as far as the I'm trying to get it, you know, but I'm starting from zero again, so it sucks. Why do you Xbox guys want PlayStation to do exactly what Xbox is doing? Because they don't like what Xbox is doing, and the way it manifests in them is to say, well, PlayStation is going to do it too. So that's reality. You know, that is reality. So they don't look. I've listened to enough of their podcasts. I've listened to Crossfire. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've listened to Basement Arcade Radio podcast. I've listened to Scumcast. I've listened to these guys' podcasts, and their guests or a lot of their panel members. They hate the fact that Microsoft is doing day and date. They hate it. Okay, they hate it, you know. And anytime you got like a D-Crap Gamer who was telling people, yeah, Sony is gonna. I mean, Crap Gamer months ago was like, look, Sony is gonna put other games on PS-NOW, but like Jay Barry said, it's always gonna be secondary to what they're doing. Okay, it's gonna be secondary to what they're doing. So. And it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So, but you know, Jim Ryan has come out and said the reason why they went to the Azure cloud and stuff like that, them being Sony, was to get ready to brace for Stadia. They're bracing for it, okay? And so and that's what good companies do. They understand that they understand that that it's going to be, Google's got the money, Google's got the talent to put the hurt on them. They know that. So Sony and Microsoft are both bracing for Stadia. Okay, now understand, Jim Ryan, the CEO, said this. He said that. I'm not making this up. You all can go back and see that yourselves. Jim Ryan also said that the PlayStation 5 will have ray tracing. He said that PlayStation 5 will support PS5 will support 8K gaming. You see what I'm saying? So he's telling you what's going to happen. So if you get a PS5, you'll have 8K gaming. So what talent Google got? They got a lot of talent over there. Don't worry about it. You're going to see it. And Google's here to stay. You know, Google is here to stay. So, but again, I am going to get on off here. I have to go get this stuff tested and all that kind of groovy kind of love. But guys, I'm going to jump off here. It was a pleasure talking to you guys early this morning. So I appreciate you following me and all that good kind of stuff. So Microsoft has an 18-year start in the console gaming. The Stadia is not a console. It is not a console. It's just a streaming device. That's all it is. It is a streaming device. So again, they're not. If Google wanted to make a console, they would have came out with it and said, "Here's our console." You know, now maybe that's what it turns into. Maybe 3 years from now, that Google puts out a console. But right now, they're starting with this. And again, they've got the big hitters with them. So yeah, William, take it easy. Andrew, take it easy. No rushing. Take it easy. So Materazzi, you all take it easy. Ray, man, always a pleasure, man. Been a while. Sorry I had to jump off like this, man. Mr. 901, yeah, you take it easy, brother. And again, thanks for your donation, definitely. So he said he will be gaming till he's old and gray. Yeah. Well, again, once I really start gaming on my PC, I'll be cutting back. I'll be cutting back on all that. Yeah, I'll be 10 years from now. Yeah, who even knows? I'll be walking around. So, but all right then, guys, I will talk to it. We have 100 million. We don't need crossplay. Again, you're right. They don't need it. Sony does not need crossplay. I don't disagree with that. So that's why it came at the end of the, it comes at the end of the generation. Okay. The end of the generation, there's some crossplay. So now, will there be crossplay next generation? I don't know, because Jim Ryan's in charge, and I put his quote up there. We have to wait and see. So I do know Jim Ryan wants to buy more studios, and he thinks the devices should be separate. You all saw that. Had to wait and see if that happens. My understanding is, shout out to my source that told you all months ago they were looking at Insomniac, and I broke that news. Shout out to OBJ to Don. He can back me up on that one. It's Remedy they're looking at, House Marquee, and the Blue Point, something like that, and Kojima. So I think one of those studios is the next to fall, but I don't think it falls until next year. Okay, I don't think it falls until next year. So have to wait and see though. Hopefully it's Remedy, because I do think Sony, the way Sony makes their games, Remedy could benefit the most, because Remedy's games have been good. They haven't been great. They've been good, haven't been great. So, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe none of them come. But guys, I'm going to jump on off here. I appreciate you coming, and take it easy. Stay blessed. And remember, play the games or the terrorists win. Peace.